Testing, testing, 1, 2, 3. There we go. Thank you so much there, Unknown Gamer, for telling me that there's no audio, because I would not have seen that for who knows how long if you did not say that. That was awesome. Thank you for all the help. Also, can we put some music in the background? I kind of need some music to like help my mind, because now I have to oh my gosh, I have to re-explain everything that I just said. Gosh, okay, that's okay. We can do it. Also, I do want to record this and put this into a video, what I'm about to say. So we're gonna have to start from the beginning. Gosh darn it, I'm gonna have to start from the beginning. Hello there, Hidden Brick. Hello, Unknown Gamer. How are you guys doing today? All right, let me put some music in the background, because I need some music to keep me going. Also, I need my... Oh, let me turn on my fan in my room. It's freaking hot. Oh. Okay. Let's do this. Music. Let me throw on some lo-fi, something or whatever. Lo-fi. Let's do Sakura Dreams. I like that album. Excellent. Okay. Oh, and let's turn down that music so it's not too loud for you guys. Okay. So let's start from the beginning. Hello, everybody. Omega Given here. Okay. Actually, let me start the recording. Hello, everybody. Omega Given here. So today we are going to, for one, starters, this is a live stream, so we're going to be communicating to people on live stream. Also, we're going to try to record a slight tutorial on how to do dynamic controls. So when I say dynamic controls, what do I mean? Well, I have two controllers here, not connected to my computer. They're off. I'm going to press play on my game. So when we press play, there's no characters in the scene. But when I turn on a controller, it will turn on, connect, and a character pops into my screen. This little cat can now move back and forth. I don't have anything else because this is very simple code, but we have a cat that moves back and forth. Now let's turn on character 2. So we'll turn on a controller, it will automatically detect character 2 pops in the scene. There's 2 controllers there. And booyah, we have 2 players that can move back and forth. That is the code that we're going over today. Now, this is not hard-coded. None of this is hard-coded before the game even opens. The game will actually create the whole character mapping or I guess the input mapping for these characters upon instantiating of the characters, aka creation of those characters. So, what that means is technically this game will be able to support as many controllers as your hardware allows. Meaning I can have up to, I think if I heard correctly, PC computers could probably take up to like some 30 controllers. I could have 30 controllers connected to this game and 30 players rushing around the scene. As you can tell, this is going to be cats, so I'm going to have this like be a house of cats, and it's like a cat royale kind of game. It's going to be kind of fun, but that's like months down the line. We got to do a bunch of other things before we get there. But let's go over the code, because this code is going to be different. I literally found one person online that ever mentions the idea of dynamically creating controller inputs and stuff like that. So we're gonna go over it, and it only requires 2 scripts, but they're very complicated with how they work. So we're gonna go over those 2 scripts. We have game settings script. Basically, all this script is this script is just a auto load script. So this is basically whenever the game opens, not even a scene is opened, this script will instantiate and do a bunch of stuff. Then we have a player script. Basically what this player script is, this is for the player scene. Like whenever a player is spawned in, it will spawn in this thing. And this player will have basic movement. You can tell it's a very short script. It'll store some very key variables. All these are very key variables, and then it'll have a processor that handles all the physics of it. And we will go over a little bit of the physics of that. But first, let's start with game settings. So, upon creation of our game, we have a few things that happen. This is a sound effects kind of thing. We don't need to worry about that. You can go watch some other people's sound effects stuff. But what we do want to worry about is right here. We have number players. Okay, so we have number players, which is an integer of how many players are connected. This will change and fluctuate depending on how many players are connected or disconnected. Then you have a player's, this is an array or a list. This will store each player that is instantiated. So whenever a player is connected, it will throw it into this array so we can be able to reference it and call it, do stuff with it. Who knows, we're gonna do future things in future live streams or future videos. So we have that players. Then we have input maps. What's input maps? Well, input maps is storing every single input map that is created to match with that player. Technically, that player also gets an input map assigned into it. like the player object will have an input map underneath of it, so you can be able to access it within itself. You don't have to access outside of that input map. This is mainly just to help us store what input maps are created upon the creation of the game, or I guess of the characters, because you might want to know how many input maps are in the game. And we can, of course, expand this. Right now, I only have it set up for literally the left joystick, so that's the only thing that's set up. I do not have the buttons set up yet. It's going to be pretty easy to set up the buttons since like it's just a more simple version of a joystick. But let's go into it. So we have that stuff. We do have a keyboard use kind of thing. This is for like if you want to just test if there's keyboard stuff, you can basically incorporate keyboard and controllers. But we're going to set that aside. We don't need to worry about keyboards for this tutorial. This code will probably be posted on my GitHub eventually, and I'll link that GitHub eventually. But we'll not worry about that right now. So let's go into our first function. This is the ready script. What the ready script is basically once this script is instantiated, aka like, or I guess run, it will do these things. This is like only first time done kind of things. So what it will do, we have sound effects here. Don't worry about sound effects. It sets up our whole sound effects thing. I'm gonna do a couple of debugging kind of things, like print stuff, like print the number of controllers that are connected to the game or connected when the game opens, because sometimes you might have a couple controllers connected. So it'll print that. If I started it now, it'll probably have 2 because both my controllers are still on. So if we print and we go to the console here, it will print number of controllers connected is 2. It's a little small, but it says it right there. Number of controllers connected 2. So we have that there. We're gonna do this right here too. What this does is a connection signal that basically checks if a controller is connected. Luckily for us, Godot has a function that does this for us. So we have this. This is what is this? I don't know. This is just a variable that has a int or whatever. Don't worry about that really. It can just be anything really. But that variable is going to be assigned to input.joy connection underscore or joy underscore connection underscore changed. That is a function within input, like the input class that's already set up in Godot, that emits a signal when there is a new connection of a controller. So we want to grab that and we're going to connect it to this function underscore on joy connection changed. That will make it so whenever something connects, it will do whatever is in this function. So we see that function is down here. We'll get to that in a second. So after we do this. So then once we have that connection set up, anytime in the game, if we joy connection changes, it will call either it will call either one connected, which is create a new player, or remove player because they disconnected. So with that said, let's go to the second part here. This is for player index in range number of players. So basically, for every single player, we're going to add a player. AKA, when the game starts up, if there are 2 players, which I have 2 players on currently, it will create 2 players with controllers. So let's actually restart the game. And it opens, and we have two players because the controllers are still connected. So it senses that there's 2 players, so it creates 2 players, or whatever, 2 controllers, that there's 2 players. All right, so that's the 2 players. Next, we have on joy connection changed. So basically, since we set up that signal in the above statement, we have the joy connection changed. It will take in whatever device that changed. That's the integer. So every device has a number assigned to it. It's just a very simple number, device 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, whatever device it is. So basically player 0, player 1, player 2, player 3, something like that. And then we have a connection of either it's connected, true, or not true. So if connected, it means that somebody new assigned. We're going to, 1, get the the connected keypad size, and we're going to print what the new connection is, which is going to be basically the last connection. Then we're going to add that new connection to add a new player. We're going to go into this script. This is going to be the biggest script of the whole thing. So we're going to add that player with that device, and that device is going to be assigned, and we're going to create all of the input maps and everything to that player. Else, if a connection changed and it was not connected, meaning it was disconnected, we're just going to remove a player, meaning it'll just remove that device. As you can see, it knows which device is being connected or disconnected. Which also supports if a person disconnects, as like say you have three controllers, 0, 1, and 2. If one disconnects, then it will know that the number 1 disconnected, so that when you reconnect, it will sense that number 1 reconnects. I still have yet to test this because I only have 2 controllers, but that's what happens. And it's pretty awesome. Actually, we could probably test this now. I won't test it now though, because I want to test it privately before I test it live, because I might have to debug some stuff. All right, but let's keep going. So we have remove player. What does remove player do? Well, it emits a signal of disconnected and just prints that the character's removed. If we want to, we can actually remove the entire player, like delete the player itself, or maybe just hide it. I don't know, do something like that, but we're gonna leave that as a to-do for later. This code technically is derived from another person's code I found online. Well, like I said, I think I mentioned that earlier. I basically just edited it and like enhanced it because it was not including all the functionality of everything, and it was on Godot 3. This is Godot 4, so I had to update a few of the functions and how they work. All right, let's move on to the big stuff, the add player. What happens when a controller connects and it emits a connected symbol? Well, we're gonna add it, meaning we're gonna take the player index, which is the device number, and basically we're gonna go through a bunch of stuff. So let's go through this stuff. So if that index is less than the player size, it means that it's a previous player that's just now reconnecting. So we're gonna emit signal connected, print, and return. So we don't actually need to do anything with that new player. We just like connect them. We don't actually need to create a new character for that player. Now, if it's not that, else the rest of this thing, what we're gonna do is we're going to load a new player scene. We're gonna instantiate that player scene, or the player itself. We're gonna get a tree, which is something that somebody helped me with. So basically on the actual game itself, we're gonna get a node we're gonna get the world basically. That's basically what we're getting. We're gonna get the group of world and we're gonna add players to that world. That's basically what this is doing right here. So that's kind of like how the get first node in group, it kind of like goes through to the, let me see. Do we have a world object right here? I guess the game right here is within a node of right here, world. There's a group node here of world. So this will basically be everything that's within our game. So you can set up groups to be able to do that. I'm still practicing on doing that myself. So the person's shown me how to do that a couple times now. All right, but with that, let's go back into game settings. So we basically put that player into the world, and then we append that player to our players list so we can be able to reference it pretty easily, like from the list. So we append that player and then we move on. So we have a player instantiated, but the player does not have any controls to it. So what we do is we gotta set up those controls. So input maps.append. What we're gonna do is we're gonna append this input map, which is, this is kind of for keyboards really. And I guess controllers too. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna assign this a UI_right. You can actually use your own convention of like how you want to name this. I'm just doing UI_right, and then it will also put a number next to that, which that number, if you see this formatting, that number is the device number. The player index is the device number, and then it's gonna have a vector of right. So basically what's that doing? If you look at the input maps, it's basically creating a UI_right 0, 1, 2, 3, whatever it is. That's basically what it's doing, and it's assigning the key or like the joystick action to that input map. So we're doing that for all 4, up, down, left, right. Then we're gonna print the input map just so we can test it. You can see in the comment, like the thing down below, we print that input map and we move on. All right, so we get the input map. Oh yeah, we also assigned that input map to the player object itself, so the player can be able to like reference it easily. So we have that input map in the player, and we also have it in its own list, which we actually have right here. We kind of like put the input maps.append. So it's assigned in 2 places. You technically only need it in the 1, but we wanted to just do it across both places just to make it easier for us later on. So if not keyboard, aka if this is not a keyboard, like if it's a controller that's connected, we're gonna do the following. Basically, we're gonna get player device number, and we're gonna like assign that to the player object. So the object will have a variable within it called device number, and it'll know what device number it is. So player 1 will know it's player 1, player 0 will know it's player 0, player 5 will know it's player 5, so on and so forth. All right, next we got some instantiating of just stuff. This is basically just to help connect like a few different things. So we got right action, we got right action event, left action event. So these are gonna be able to excuse me. We'll be able to assign these to things later on. We're just instantiating these so we can use them. All right, so right here we have right action equals basically that right input that we made above. We could actually call that if we want, instead of redoing it again, because technically it's done right here. So we could call that above, but we just do it again for ourselves just to make it easier. So we're gonna make right action is equal to this UI input. And then we're gonna add that action to input map. This is where we actually manually add it to the input map in Godot. Oh, whoops, sorry about that. So we're gonna add that action to input map. And then what we're gonna do is with that action now in input map, we're also going to assign this input event, because the input map needs to know what event actually happens with that input action. So basically what it is, it's going to be a joypad motion, and it's going to be a joypad motion with device, whatever device it is, 0, it would be 0. So device 0 will get a axis movement across the horizontal axis of 1 or -1. You can see this is actually two things right here. So right will be 1, left will be -1 in the X direction. So that's basically what we're doing. So that's how you do that kind of thing. You can go and check it out. Pause here if you need to and check that out if you want to copy and paste or whatever. We'll give you a link later on. All right, next we have the up down action. I actually not have implemented this in my thing because my thing is going to be a side scroller, so you don't go up just randomly. You have to jump. But basically what this is going to do is the same thing, but instead it's going to be joy axis left Y. Now, what are these things? Let's go, I guess we can go into detail a little bit. So we know that player index is a device number. Joy axis, left, right, X, or Y, whatever those are set values within Godot's system to tell Godot what controller is being inputted. So whether you have an Xbox, a PlayStation, or a Joy-Con from a Switch remote, it will all, like the left joy axis, like the left stick, the thumbstick, will have the same thing of joy axis left X. Left being this left joystick, and X being the horizontal, and Y being the vertical. That's basically what that is doing. So if you notice, this is joy axis left, joy axis left Y. They're all left. So that's what those are. You can actually go and look in the documentation for what like the universal buttons are for everything. Like there's universal buttons for A, B, X, Y, start buttons, D-pad buttons. There's all these universal ones that are the same across Xbox, PlayStation, so on and so forth. I don't know how it is with, I guess, Nintendo and Xbox, because technically their A, B buttons are reversed. So I would have to go and check that out. But go and check the documentation. The documentation has everything for that kind of stuff. And the more we go into the video, the more I'm slouching. I know. All right, so next we have, I guess it's the same thing, but it's just the up and down directions. So we can just skip this part. Else, okay, this is for using keyboard. So this is for if people want to use, I guess, the arrow keys versus the WASD keys. Oh, excuse me. So yeah, we have those set up. So we basically have an input map and just literally assign those keys to that input map. This is for if you want to actually test with a keyboard and not a controller, because I want to make my game very universal so anybody can play. Accessibility matters. All right, next we have basically the same thing we're going to do, but we're going to do that with the keyboard. That's basically what this is. It's just the keyboard stuff, just the same as the above, but just for keyboard. As you can tell up here, it's joypad motion. Down here, it's input key event, because joypad motion is analog and buttons are not analog. Buttons are on off. So yeah. So that's the difference between those. And then finally, we add child player, meaning we create the player. That's basically what we're doing. So we create the player, and that's game settings for you. It's pretty easy, question mark? It's actually really hard. We're very confusing at first. I still have to get collision going on. But let's go into player. What does player do with all of that we just said? Basically, we have a player object. That player object is a 2D character body, whatever you want it to be. That player will have a speed. It'll have gravity if you want to implement gravity. I don't have that implemented yet for myself. We have a target velocity. Actually, I don't even think I use target velocity. I do not even use target velocity. You don't even need target velocity because I simplified this so we don't need half this stuff. So what goes on? What goes on? So we have our inputs that we got from before. We're assigning it to this player. We have our device number, which we got from before. These are all defaults. These will be overwritten upon creation of the game or adding of a player. So these will all be rewritten to whatever is in the previous script that we wrote. So I wouldn't worry about these. Other than, I guess, Dead Zone you might want to worry about. Depending on if you have Dead Zone controllers and stuff like that, that you need more Dead Zone and the likes. So yeah, so we have all of these that were assigned in the previous script on here, so we can be able to access them in here. You gotta have some animation players if you want to do some animation with your characters, but we don't want to do that in this tutorial / video. So we have physics process. Physics process is basically what happens when there's physics. What happens when the character moves? What happens? Just that kind of stuff. I just threw an idle animation player so that my character moves a little bit, like does little animations, like cat doing a licking thing, I think, or something like that. Where ignore that, you don't need that technically. Let's get a movement. Because this movement is super simple and concise, and it's pretty awesome because of that, thanks to the help of some other people that have helped me like actually simplify this. I was actually doing something more complicated, then they're like, hey, you can just do this, and it's like, whoa. All right, so what we have is we have velocity. A velocity is a key variable within Godot. It's basically how fast a character is moving. So when you assign velocity to something, you're actually assigning the velocity of the object itself, to a certain speed. And then this move and slide at the very end, it takes that velocity and applies it to your object to do whatever it does. You could technically hard code this yourself some way, or you could just rely on move and slide and make sure it does it the right way that way. I don't know. It depends on how simple you want it to be. All right, so we have our velocity. Our velocity is 0 at all times whenever physics happens. But if there is an input in the either positive above dead zone direction or below negative dead zone direction, just so you can get that little space of it doesn't do anything, it will do the following. It will set the velocity to whatever the axis of that input is. So we get input.getAxis, that device number, and then 0 meaning the left joystick, that's actually a thing there, times speed. So technically, getting the axis of the left and right will be a variable or a value that is positive from 1 to negative 1. Well, not negative 1, but 1 to negative 1. So it will be 0 or 0.5 or negative 0.5. It'll be between 1 and negative 1. So with that known, we can literally just times that by our speed. So that would be our velocity. Now, granted, if with that, it actually does make it so, actually it normalizes technically, because 1 in that direction, actually no, 1 in that direction would be, in the diagonal direction would actually be faster. So you do have to normalize this, but I had some issues with the normalizing script. So you could actually manually normalize this if you want, or you could just do it with built-in normalizing to Godot. So we times it by speed, and that's our velocity. Else, we move towards what? We move towards 0. This move towards 0 right here is something that's very helpful. It just makes it so whenever somebody's not pressing it, it just goes to 0 in a smooth motion. So the character stops, but not like whoop, stops abruptly. So yeah. And then we just move and slide. We move that velocity. We let the character move. That's all it is to it. That is dynamic player movement. It's very complicated. I just made this video 21 minutes long. But if you go back through, hopefully I explain things in a way that you understand. If you don't, then check out the code that I will post in a comment? Question mark? Maybe I can put it in a comment. I don't know how long comment's gonna be. But thank you for watching. Like and subscribe. And I'm gonna end this recording and continue with the live stream. Go check out our live streams. Hello, everybody. Yes, I know. I just did a full recording. That's how you record in one go. Huh. 21-minute recording. I probably could have shortened that, but I don't know. Ah, delicious. Delicious orange jiaosu. All right, guys, what are we gonna do today? So, we have our player. Let's see if we can do anything more. If I rerun, I want to try to get collision working. I'm gonna lower the volume. I need to get my music to not be so loud. All right, so we have our character players. You know, they move around, do their thing, but they don't have any collision. I tried to assign a collision object here, a collision shape 2D. But we have issues, lots of issues with it. If I have it disabled right now, but once I enable it, watch and see what happens. Or it works? Wait, why does it work now and not before? Okay, that's weird that it works now and not before. So it actually runs into that object and it fine? What? Wait a minute, what did I do? It was not working before, but now it works? This makes no sense. Oh, wait. I think they collide with each other and can't move. Oh gosh. Oh! Oh, apparently collision works, but like they're like getting closer and closer together until like I don't even know. Hi. It's just like colliding. That's so fun. All right, now I need to add gravity. How do I add gravity to the situation? All right, let's figure out how to add gravity. Let's open up a 2D platformer tutorial or something like that, and let's learn how to do gravity. And then we'll have to learn jumps and all that stuff. Godot 2D platformer. Let's do a 2D platformer and like just plop that code in here or something like that. I'm hoping that somebody has something that I don't have to do anything to. Your first 2D object. Let me see if I can find a tutorial that's written and not. Don't. Gosh darn it. All of these things are videos, and though I do like videos, it's kind of nice to just see the code. Okay, so we have a little bit of a couple things. We have walk right, left, jump. Okay, we got it. All right, let's go to our character script here, our physics process. We're gonna probably add our physics processing for gravity here. So basically, we can ask velocity. Okay, we can do this. So basically, we can set velocity dot y plus equals delta, which is, I guess, whatever, like the basic thing of the game, times gravity. So we'll have this character move according to gravity. Press jump. If is action just pressed jump. I guess we do need a jump key. I'm trying to like make sure I do this correctly. Interesting. Let's just like try this and see how this works. So if I do this, is it gonna like spam out? Yep, it's gonna spam out. I knew it would do that. I knew it. They're both moving towards gravity. Is gravity to the left in our game? Is that why it's moving left? That might be why. Let me comment that out and try that again. Just see if it... That is so weird. We added one line of code and it breaks everything. It was working just fine before. Now it's like broken beyond belief. Let me just like innate or turn off collision and re-add it. Or yeah, like re-add collision or something like that. Yeah, we gotta figure this out. This is just a pain. I'm gonna turn off my studio lights because it's just a pain in the butt for my eyes to be blinded. Velocity if input is action is jump. I guess we need to probably add our A and B buttons to the game now. So maybe we should go back through and add some A-B buttons. So let's do that. So I'm gonna go grab this, Control C, Control V. This is gonna be jump action. And then this is gonna be jump action event. We're gonna assign jump action event to all these things. We actually don't need half these things. So we're gonna have jump action. So it's gonna be basically UI jump and then number. Actually no, just jump and number. Actually we just call jump action. Jump action and then number dot format. And basically if player index or like when action of jump action oh, we need to input this too. We need to make sure we instantiate this so we can be able to like be fine with it. Instantiate these two variables here. So jump action is going to be a string. Jump action event is going to be input event joypad button. So we're going to do input joypad button new because it's going to be a new button. Device is going to be player index. Joypad event dot. Let's check out the look at the symbol for this. So input joypad button has a few things. It has button index. It has pressure, pressed, and pressure. I don't think most buttons are going to have a pressure amount, not a floating number of whatever. Oh, here we are. We have button index. Let me double check what the code is. So player. What? No, game settings. Game settings. This is player index. Okay, so device. So this is axis value. We want button index, I think. So I think I'm gonna hard code this to be button index equals joy underscore button A. No, button B. I think button B. So you have a bunch of buttons here. We have joypad button A, button B, button back, D-pad down, left, right, guide, invalid, left shoulder, right shoulder. What's the normal jump button in most games? I don't know. The button B? What's the jump button in most games on gamepad? So a lot of these say A is the jump button. What jump button in, let's say Halo. What's Halo's jump button? B is jump. Oh, wait, no. A is jump. Okay, so A is jump. I think it's supposed to be jump then. Like, A would be jump. B would be select, I guess. And we can just delete all of that. We don't need that junk. So we'll set that as our jump action. Let's copy and paste this, and we're gonna do one more thing. We're gonna do select action. So our select action, we're gonna need this really quick. So we're gonna have select action is gonna be a string. We need a select jump event. Select action event, I mean. Select action event is gonna be right here. Just throw that in all of those things. We're gonna select action is that. Player inputs that, and this is gonna be B. B is gonna be our select action. So we have select action will then be added to our input map with select action event. Yeah. There we go. We have A and B buttons now programmed for all of our multiplayer controls. All right. We gotta do the B, the jumpity jumps. How the flip do we do the jumpity jumps? Lerp. Wait, what is lerp? One way to add this behavior is to use linear interpolation. When moving, we will lerp between the current speed and the max speed. And while stopping, we'll lerp between the current speed and 0. Adjusting the lerp amount will give us a variety of movement styles. Apparently this tutorial has like a lerp function. Is lerp like an actual is that a thing? Let me see this. Lerp. That is a function. Interesting. Lerping is a function. I'm kind of confused. What's lerping all about then? Input dot is action just press jump. So we're gonna do a thing here. If input dot get I'm trying to think. Get joy can I get connected joypads? Not gonna be that. Get action. I'll get the connected joysticks. This would get stuff. I think we just get action or action strength. Get joy mouse velocity, get vector. Actually, I should just run this code really quick and just see if it's fine on its own. It's fine on its own, even though we have a very glitchy, crazy thing. You know, I'm kind of tired. I wonder if we just play games to develop. We've done a lot today. We got multiplayer controls working. How awesome is that? I'm gonna like save this really quick. Let's open up a game of Magic the Gathering because I'm tired. I think about it. Oh gosh, I'm hitting a wall here. The wall is just too much for me. Oh gosh. Oof. Oh gosh. Let's see, Magic the Gathering. White and black spells. Ooh, we got an inbox thing. Nope, nothing. Nothing that we care about, at least. Do you have a new store item of this week? Eh. I'll just play a simple game of Minyajiak. Play alchemy. It's in white black, right? Hey, let me check. White black, yeah. Just do a Phyrexia. Or Phyrexian deck while we chills for a bit because my brain is. Oh, I just activated like sleep mode or something. Whew. I think all that talking really got to me. I think that's what happened. You ready to slaughter this guy? Incubate for and give ourselves vigilance, cause that's awesome. Whew. Yes, attack me with that guy, because he's not long for this world. I say let's do this, where I target a land, and then I get rid of his... Let's get rid of this guy. That guy's gonna get big, this guy's not. He will get life, but I'd rather get rid of the damage threat. Or he does that. That's a pain in the butt. Fine, let's create a 4/4. Attack him where it hurts, maybe. Oh, I guess he gets indestructible. I guess I have vigilance, we're fine. Yes, we're gonna become so big that they can't handle us. I hate this healing deck so much sometimes when they get a good combo off. I need to play my one deck. I have like a new deck I built that was just heisting. How dare thee do that to me? Maybe I'll just do this then. Create treasure token. Freaking roaming throne. Screw that. We're conceding. I'm not dealing with the roaming throne today. That just sucks. It sucks so bad. Actually, I got an idea. Let's play our new deck. We have a new deck here. I want to play Crimes. That's why you call this deck. It has black colors in it, so we could probably get a bunch of our dailies out. My dog is so cute, staring at me right now. Let's see how this deck does. I'm kind of curious if it's gonna actually do good or not. Ah, nutcrackers. Discard a card this turn, sacrifice a plan. Let's plot that really quick. Let's cast this. Cast that. I want to discard a card. I'm going to discard. The spree's good, but I think I'm going to discard it. Put a creature from your hand onto the battlefield. I'm gonna do a bunch of sacking to get this guy out and do some stuff. No blocks. I'll take the 4. It sucks, but I will take it. Alright, I think what we're gonna do here is we're going to destroy that dude, get him off the field. I'm gonna create one of these guys, which will activate that, getting me another additional thing. Go to combat, and I'll attack. Dealing us 2 damage, even though they have more damage on us. We at least have more creatures in the field. And we have 3 creatures, so we can sack it and put a creature from our hand onto the battlefield, which is pretty awesome. Because we might do that. Oh, I gotta sacrifice somebody? Oh, darn it. Never mind. We gotta sack one of our guys. Even though he just sacked himself? I don't know why he would do that, but alrighty, I'll take it. I'll take it. I'm going to pull out. Yeah, let's pull out this guy. Next to combat, we're just gonna go ahead and swing. Now we're on even playing field here. 16v16. We're gonna just do a little taunting and stick him up. Frick, no! Yeah, I knew he'll get targeted. It's either that or this guy gets targeted. I guess the other guy is probably better, but this guy has a little bit better abilities for when we get more draws. Where's our freaking spells? I guess we're not doing anything this turn. Are they kicking it? They're kicking it. Ah, frick. Gosh, darn it. tempted to do this guy's ability. Life and getting 2 damage. Okay, I think I'm gonna go in. Let's attack. Because if he blocks, yeah, I lose 2 life. He gains 2. But I'm at least getting guys off the field. If he blocks with 2 guys, that will be interesting. We'll see. He's thinking about it. Yeah, he's thinking about it. Oh, there's 6 health. I guess I want to get rid of his life linker. Is he doing a kicker? Yep, he's doing a kicker. I'll sack this guy. He's just gonna kill me with just that little bits and pieces. Game and life. Let's do this. I think I'm gonna sack him. Get that card draw. Your hand, great. I'm gonna cast this. Get this guy back to my hand, creating another one of those guys. We have a whole bunch of them now. Attack with him. He's gonna have to sack everything he has if he wants to face me with here. You'd rather have me lose 2 than him lose 5, I guess. It's interesting. He has some pretty cool. That's some pretty cool artwork on his cards. I like that. I just have very simple whatever it is. What is that? Karn? Hey, any amount of mana. Look at this. That many top of the cards. You can put one of those cards into your hand. The rest in the bottom of your library. Now, Rick, that's a freaking good draw card. You get an emblem with tap and gosh darn, Karn, you're gonna be a pain in the butt. Giving him extra draws each turn. Next to combat. I forgot to do my stuff. Crap. I forgot to bump this guy up. Well, his Karn's gone. I don't know if he wanted that to happen, but okay. That's like the best thing possible. Alright. Get a 3/3 Rexian here. Not horrible. Sad part is I'm gonna be hitting him for 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 this next turn. And I'm gonna do this. Deals 1 damage to target opponent. Then we're going to tap. We're going to make this guy. This guy big. Tap. Make him big. And tap. Make him even bigger. Next to combat. We're hitting for a frick ton of damage. We're just hoping that they don't get something next turn. Oh, frick. Actually, oof. We might get some stuff here. If he doesn't see that this is indestructible, he might see it. Yeah, he might see that. He might actually sacrifice that if he sees the indestructible. Oh, he doesn't see the indestructible. And just about included too. I do lose quite a bit of damage there, or a lot of health there, but we're okay. Because he can only hit us 2 this turn. Good game. Good game indeed. Well, not really. He didn't have the best draws. Yeah, he gives up. It's hard to recover from that. If you don't have a board wipe of some sort. Could probably do one more before I gotta go. So far, Crimes deck did pretty good. Ooh, just pure red hand. Gosh, okay. Whenever I commit a crime. You gonna draw a card? We're gonna put a red on the field so we can do this. Then we can create a tapped treasure token. This ability triggers only once each turn. Sacrifice 3 treasures, create a 4/4 Scorpion Dragon creature token with flying and haste. That's gonna be pretty awesome in the future. Alright, so he's gonna start hating us because what we're gonna do here is we're gonna deal. Actually, wait, what do I want to do exactly? I think I want to get this out in the field first. Oh, wait, whoops. Or this. Oops, I messed up. I should have did the Jagged Barons. Because I'm not going to be able to play anything this turn. Yeah. We can't do anything this turn. We just lost a turn. And they just got a bunch of stuff. We can do this, create a treasure token. No attack, because we are stupid and we didn't do it right. Gonna kill our guy? Gonna kill our guy. Could pull out my Terror of the Peaks if we wanted to. We'll just hope that we get a land next turn. Oh boy, he's getting food. He's gonna start getting food like crazy with his halfling deck or something like that. I'm tempted to plot this just to deal 2 damage to that guy. Yeah, let's plot that. Deal 2 damage to this. Create a treasure token. No attacks. Gosh, this dog is gonna get huge. Don't like that. Yeah, that dog's gonna get big. Looks like we're gonna need something. Let's pull out first strike first. Get this guy in the field. Just get ourselves some more things in the field. As long as your turn, outlaws I control have first strike. She is not an outlaw. She does not get first strike. So we're gonna leave that be. Hello there, Mystica Chromium. How are you doing today? This is our last game of the night, just saying. Gotta go pick up my wife from the thing after this. Is he gonna attack with it or not? Oh, it can't be blocked? That's annoying. Oh my gosh, that's annoying. We literally need to destroy that artifact if we want to actually beat this guy. Or we just gotta out beef him. Gosh, we gotta out beef in this guy. Darn this guy. He's gonna probably beat us here. I don't think we're gonna be able to come back from this. Okay. Let's get this guy in the field. He has responses. Auto pay this to get it out. Hoping that this deals something. Actually, I don't think the combo of this works. It deals 1 damage. Target creature of your choice gets menace or lifelink. I think I want to give him lifelink. Create a 1/1. So whenever he gets that, he'll get lifelink. Might as well give him menace. Boom, boom. Lifelink menace. So you have to block with 2 to kill him, but he still would be blocked and dies. This is hard. That freaking 2/2 Hobbit is so annoying. A little halfling deck. Halfling human deck. I gotta sack something to this thing. To the void. Alright, let's get rid of this guy. Or just... Wait, what? Oh, frick. Screw that. Alright, conceding. He doesn't get the actual hit off, I guess. There's nothing we can do about that. Can't be blocked. That's so stupid. Ugh, annoying. I really want to get this mastery. I'm tempted to just like quickly just rush through a quick game. But I don't know. I gotta get going here. All right. Well, I'm gonna go, guys. Thank you all for watching. Whoever watched all that stuff, and I'll see you all later. Bye bye.